Dear President Carlos Alvarado, Minister of the Environment and Energy of Costa Rica, Andrea Meza, Executive Director of the Green Climate Fund, my dear friend and colleague, Yannick Lemerek, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to be part of the REDD Plus results-based payments for emission reductions project launch in Costa Rica. It is a landmark moment, the culmination of incredible efforts by communities across the country to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with deforestation, making the country a huge carbon sink. That means that due to the massive increase in forest cover, the country now absorbs more carbon than it releases into the atmosphere. Those efforts were made possible thanks to groundbreaking policies. Look, for instance, to the Payment for Environmental Services scheme. Landowners receive direct payments for the environmental services that their lands produce as they adopt sustainable land use and forest management techniques. Thousands of indigenous peoples have benefited from the program. And thanks to an update of the scheme, women land tenants will have increased access to this financial incentive too. The beneficiaries invest in a wide range of important projects in their communities, from education to healthcare and beyond. This is clear evidence that environmental, social protection, and gender equality policies can in fact go hand in hand. Or look to the National System of Conservation Areas, which is now preserving an extraordinary 25% of the country's territory. All of these efforts are paying dividends. Costa Rica is one of the only countries in the world today that has managed to reverse deforestation, slow biodiversity loss, and increase forest cover while boosting economic growth and development at the same time. Consider, for instance, how conservation and forestation have provided a massive boost to ecotourism, and its green economy approach has rapidly accelerated sustainable development in the country. Costa Rica has risen a massive 37 places in the 2020 UNDP Human Development Reports Index, which takes two more elements into account for the first time: a country's carbon dioxide emissions and its material footprint. Indeed, the Human Development Index shows that the global development landscape would radically change if the well-being of both people and planet were central to defining humanity's progress. The REDD Plus project that we are launching today proves that conservation pays in many ways. With funds administered by the United Nations Development Programme, this is our largest ever project and partnership in Costa Rica. Indeed, Costa Rica is the first country in Central America to receive non-reimbursable funds from the Green Climate Fund due to its extraordinary efforts. It will go towards a range of crucial areas, from the expansion of the Payment for Environmental Services scheme to bolstering the country's capacity to tackle forest fires. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the finances will also play a part in the country's socioeconomic recovery. In a wider sense, UNDP is extremely proud to be able to support Costa Rica on its journey towards a zero-carbon future. For instance, through the UNDP Climate Promise, Costa Rica is already using its nationally determined contribution to promote ever closer linkages between economic recovery and climate ambition. And Costa Rica is now blazing a trail for others to follow through the creation of a bioeconomy, which places nature at the very heart of a green recovery from COVID-19. And it is also pioneering a bold decarbonization plan that is inspiring countries across the globe. Dear President Alvarado, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ecosystem restoration is intrinsically linked to our efforts to achieve the targets set by the Paris Agreement and to make progress on many of the Sustainable Development Goals. To halt the sixth mass extinction, at least 30% of our planet is today considered to be in need of protection by the year 2030. Yet, as we shape the post-2020 global biodiversity framework and work towards COP26, I hold great hope for the future. We are now starting to see the emergence of collective will by governments, philanthropists, businesses, financial institutions, communities, and civil society to realize that greener future. And thanks to groundbreaking approaches undertaken by countries such as Costa Rica, I believe that we are now on the cusp of a brand new mindset when it comes to ecosystems. On World Environment Day, on the 5th of June, the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration will be launched. The initiative will mobilize individuals and communities across the world to start new efforts to revive our natural world. Nature-based solutions, pioneered by Costa Rica and others like it, will be fundamental to these efforts. Finally, let me express my deep appreciation to His Excellency President Carlos Alvarado and the Minister of Environment and Energy, my colleague Andrea Meza, for their unwavering commitment to sustainable development, climate ambition, and decarbonization. And I also take this opportunity to thank Yannick Lemerek and the Green Climate Fund for their exceptional support and forward-looking strategy. Costa Rica's inspiring work on climate and nature is helping to spur tremendous change that reverberates far beyond its borders. In doing so, it is issuing a rallying call to individuals, communities, organizations, and governments across the globe to play their part in restoring our natural world. This much is clear. We all have our part to play. We must all be part of generation restoration. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias.